It's time to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast. So don't get her pissed. Jason talks like a spaz, and they love to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
Yeah, hello, happy Friday. Welcome to the KVJ show.
It's just the K and J show today.
It is.
Sucker.
KJ, we'll drop a D in there.
Drop that D.
I'm going to drop a D, and we got an S up in here.
Drop an S.
Missing the V. That's what it is. Yes, Virginia's taking a personal day today. If you listened to the After the Show podcast yesterday, you heard her throw that out, that she was just, you take a personal day when you got personal things.
Anytime someone says they're taking a personal day and they don't go into details, I kind of always assume they're sort of having some kind of a breakdown.
I think everybody's kind of on edge just with life.
Well,
There's a lot going on. So when you take the base of COVID plus everything and you add in additional life problems, it just used to happen before the pandemic. It then accumulates and becomes a lot to deal with.
Totally. That's what's going on. I'm sure V will talk about it eventually. She's got to take care of some stuff.
She needed a day. She just was getting to the point where, out of nowhere, you could see she was on the edge of tears, and she was yesterday on the After the Show podcast.
Well, you read a hate email to her, or just on the show. You always read hate emails, on the After the Show podcast, and usually we don't take them hard or anything. But when you were reading it, it looked like she just kind of surrendered.
It was too much.
Yeah. And I don't think the email, the content is what broke her. I think it's just the straw.
Everything else, she didn't have any fight left in her.
Sometimes you can be just in a real broken place, and that last comment or that last thing you read or hear can just set you off.
It's just enough. Yeah, even last night we were all texting back and forth, and she said, I just tried to pick up takeout, and I realized my debit card is missing, and I just started crying in the restaurant. So that's awesome. Perfect ending to my day. So that's kind of where she was.
When that starts to happen, you might want to take a break.
Yeah, it was probably good, but it was very nice. The listeners are understanding. I got a really nice email from Dennys who sent this in. She said, look, I've been listening to you guys for years, and I found that the podcast has become a decompressor for me. Whenever I was stressed all day, or my daughter pissed me off, or life just deals me a bad hand, I always know to listen to the podcast. And if I want to be uplifted, I want to get my mind off a really, tough thing, then I will just listen to you guys. So thank you for being there. And I felt for Virginia yesterday. We sometimes forget that you guys are human and that you have a life like everybody else. So I hope that when you guys go home that you have something that's equivalent to what the KVJ show is to me and many of your listeners. I know Kev goes home to his alcohol. Jaybird goes home to loneliness. Soups goes to the sex shop in his suite. And Dennys has his weed, and Virginia is going home to be a wife and a mom. And if you guys don't have an outlet, please find one that will give you serenity and peace of mind outside of the studio. I realize how important it is for me to have you guys on standby whenever I need a break and when I need a good laugh. Virginia didn't share yesterday what her issue is, and that's okay if it's private, although I really want to know what it is. And I just want to let her know I'm praying for her, and that whenever this obstacle is that she's facing, I'm sure she will overcome it. So thank you guys for who you are and what you bring to the table every day for keeping us entertained. Thank you very much.
That's very kind. Is that Dennys, the one that's always very positive and kind? I got to tell you, it really is a big difference, people who do use kind words, because we are living in a time where things get a little volatile and everyone's, we lead with our opinion and emotion and, you suck or blah, blah, blah. It's nice to hear nice words. I don't care who you are.
I think that is kind of a lesson. So thank you, Dennys. Yes, we are human. Here's KVJ show. Like Virginia, every now and then we do need to take a personal day just to kind of take a deep breath.
And I'm doing mine on Monday.
Yeah. And,
I'm just kidding. I'm here, Coach.
Just kind of deal with some stuff. So, yeah, I do appreciate that. But it is a good lesson, everybody else, that realize everybody is going through something right now. Well, just taking a moment and stretching yourself to say something kind to somebody, try to compliment them, instead of like being snippy and nasty like everybody is on social media, people can't say anything. You know, I try to have conversations on Twitter, and people can't say anything without that final insulting, just that was so unnecessary, that last little comment. You can have a discussion. And I had somebody coming after me, and I noticed they would say something, and then every last line was a dig. Like, try reading a book sometime. And it's like, you know, can't you have a conversation without every, like, last little line, like, just trying to be like, I'm going to put you down. I'm going to push you down. I'm going to, like, whatever I can do to cut you. And it's like, that's so unnecessary.
Well, I'm a big believer that you are what you bring into your mind. And if you are constantly reading stuff that makes you feel bad about yourself, that's going to bleed into your psyche. You gotta, I mean, you're not a weak person because you constantly read negative stuff about yourself, and then it starts to affect you. That's just kind of just being a human, and that goes for any profession, not just a public figure job. I mean, really now, social media, we're all kind of public figures now. Yeah. I mean, you're really not private like you used to.
True.
You can go into a store now, and you can become an international phenomenon real quick.
Yeah, and it affects everybody. I think for us, we see more of it than the average person, and so I think for us, it rolls off my back a little bit easier. But I just noticed in this conversation I was having with this person yesterday on Twitter, I'm trying to learn stuff. I'm having a conversation. Everything they tweeted back to me had that last line of, and I'm like, it's just... And I in a sense feel for that person because they are so, I don't know why they're so hateful, why they're going through what they're going through, but it just, to me, it sums up how they feel about other people, that they are on some pedestal and they're smarter than everybody else. Be sympathetic to people, even if you are smarter than everybody else. First of all, I'll tell you, there's always somebody smarter than you.
Always.
One.
Always.
And two, even if you are smarter than somebody, you don't have to push them down and let them know about it and insult them because of it.
There's that
Help bring them up.
There's that type of smartness that actually, it's kind of like, I call them smart bullies. We get it. You're scholarly. You know more than I do.
Or you think you do.
Exactly.
And sometimes that's the danger. When you think you know everything, your mind is so closed off to listen to anything new. So there's a lot of like little mini lessons in through the whole thing. But yeah, obviously we're wishing Virginia the best. And I think at some point she'll probably give you a little taste of what it is that she's taking her personal day for today. But today's not that day.
Just remember, it takes zero talent to be kind.
There you go. Thank you, Bird. Wisdom.
This is the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
Bird, what you got on your mind today?
So yesterday we were talking about Culver's.
Yeah.
I'd never been. And everyone was like, how have you never been to that restaurant? And we were talking about, you know, that's the name of it, right? Culver's?
Culver's is the name of it, yeah. And we were talking about it because we were saying what place has the greatest burger of all time. And we had McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's up there, and we're looking for a fourth spot. And we got the most responses about Culver's, and that's why we put them in the fourth spot on our poll.
Well, people were hitting me up all during the morning show saying, Bird, there's other stuff other than burgers. You got to try their honey mustard. You got to try their fries, their cheese curds, the grilled cheese. So I went there yesterday. I did a little Facebook Live video. I did one of those reviews of the food. I didn't get a hamburger. I didn't get a cheeseburger. When I got there, I wanted to really try their grilled cheese, which was outstanding, by the way.
Okay.
So my review is they have very good food. A little expensive, but very, very good. Their honey mustard, absolutely delicious.
So that was great.
Loved it. Loved their honey mustard.
Give it a letter grade.
I get everything that I try. I give the grilled cheese an A. I give the honey mustard an A. I give their French fries an A.
Wow. What kind of fries?
They were the
what style?
Crinkle kind. I love a crinkle fry.
You do, yeah.
They might be my favorite, crinkled fries.
Really?
When they're done right, perfectly salted. And then the cheese curds, I would say they were good.
Good. Maybe I'm hearing a B out of you.
I'd give a B plus to the cheese curds. Yeah, and I know some people were annoyed with me. I got one message.
Why were they annoyed?
Well, it says, hey, dumbass. That's how the email started.
Okay, that's a good start.
How do you go to Culver's and not purchase one of their hamburgers? The purpose of you going was to try the burger. Do you ever do anything right, Alex? It's kind of one of the reasons why I don't read too many emails, because you never know what you're going to get. Alex, I hear you.
Yeah.
I really wanted to get one of their grilled cheese, and Culver's isn't going anywhere. I can always go back and try their burger as well.
Was it a secret to tell people that you don't eat a lot of meat?
No, I've talked about it before. Ever since I gave away my kidney for whatever reason, eating meat does not agree with me. I've talked to doctors about it. They think it's weird too. But I mean, I would say right around 2011, it feels like my whole body chemistry has changed, and I don't eat nearly much as meat as I used to.
And that's probably a good thing for Alex to know. So it's, if he goes in there, and that's just the way it is. Unfortunately, we found out, especially when you jump over the age of 40, I feel everything I eat.
I really do too.
Yeah,
I do.
And I know it. I can wake up the next day. You could have wiped out my memory the day before, and I could have tell you if I ate in my wheelhouse or not, just on how I feel when I open my eyes. I'm like, ugh.
I'm just being 110% honest. I don't feel good. I feel miserable when I have meat in my body.
So
and that's not a political statement.
Right.
I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life.
Right.
I'm just letting you know my body chemistry doesn't feel good.
You're testing the ability of Culver's to see if it felt overrated, and you got across the board on other items pretty much a solid A with about everything you got, which would mean the burgers, you would agree, if you had gotten one, would be a solid A.
I can only imagine their burgers being amazing. Yeah, it's I can tell it's that upgrade from fast food is really what it is.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was so damn popular.
Well, people, and it is kind of you're splitting hairs, but I think Culver's fits into, and that's why we used it just as place, because you're splitting hairs between what's fast food, and I think they call it quick service. It's like, okay, what is...
Well, what's a Moe's? What's a Chipotle? Those are not
like
fast.
Those are quick service.
Yeah.
So fast food is more the generic. You've got the drive-through. They're really worried more about time than maybe taste, and the other place would be more worried about taste than time, even though they're similar experiences, though not exact. That's why we called it place burger.
Gosh, I would love to sit down with a Moe's or a Chipotle and revamp a few things. I think I could turn them around. I got some. I do. I got some ideas for a Moe's and a Chipotle that I think would really turn it around for them.
I checked in on the Twitter poll, at least we had. I think Dennys posted up on other social platforms yesterday. I could not believe how close it was. In fact, the voting is not over right now on Twitter. It is too close to call between Burger King, Wendy's, and McDonald's.
Yeah, I can see that.
Too close. It's crazy. And typically, whenever we post any type of poll, it's rare to get them that close, but this is splitting hairs. Culver's is in fourth, so if you want to give it some love, but it's not that far behind.
All of the big threes, we call it.
Yeah.
McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy, they all have their special niche of why they are awesome.
Yeah.
McDonald's is, you are... The taste, it really is great. Their French fries, their burgers, when it's done right, their taste is amazing.
All in all.
I don't know but when you go to Wendy's, you're probably eating better quality beef.
Yes, the burgers are fantastic. I usually would skip the fries at Wendy's, and I would go with a Frosty instead.
I mean, out of all of those, though, to me, the best, when it's done right, Whopper with cheese is the best burger out there. When it comes to those three, it goes Whopper with cheese, then the Big Mac.
I got a Whopper one time, and we didn't have a Burger King in my area, so they had a Burger King bus that came through.
What is that?
It was a bus that had the grill, and so it was like you got the experience of Burger King, because my town was so small. All we had was a McDonald's. So when Burger King came to town, you're like, oh my goodness, I never really had. I didn't grow up on Burger King.
You really broke out of Logan.
Yeah, and so what happened, young fat Kev got himself a Whopper and from the burger bus, and I sat down, and I still vividly remember this today. I was sitting at a park bench, and I could not wait to bite into this Whopper, and I did, and I went, and a chunk of something, it was a crunch, and then it was a chalky, bitter, terrible taste. I pulled it out of my mouth, and it was a chunk of charcoal from the grill. And the Burger King bus was so low budget, they were trying to give you that flame-kissed flavor, but they forgot, and they really gave mine extra by putting an actual chunk of charcoal in my burger. And I got to tell you, so that's why for me, I don't know, Burger King wouldn't. It's not getting my vote.
It
It's
just
still
takes,
sticking with me.
It takes one bad experience.
does.
I've talked a lot about when you go to a some places, you go there and you're waiting in line and you look down and you see the roast beef and the roast beef looks like it has a rainbow hologram on the meat. You can only see that so many times before it scars you.
And it's not. Yeah.
No, dude, rainbow that's got that sheen to
That's
it.
gnarly.
That's so gross.
I get it. So that's my thing with Burger King. So I'll check in with the final vote before the end of the show. If you want to go vote for who is doing the best burger, you can go at least to our Twitter and check it out there and cast your vote before 9 this morning.
I think Virginia was getting down on some food last night because I was texting with her and I accidentally sent a wrong text to her. And I said something about eating your feelings, and I meant to put eating food, but it said feels. She goes, I'm over here and I'm definitely eating my feelings.
Oh.
I know
Yeah.
she's broke down right now because she's eating terrible. That's how you know Virginia's struggling.
Yeah.
She told me yesterday, she goes, I'm going to eat so piggy this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, girl, I am right there with you.
Yeah, I know people didn't hear the very beginning of the show. Virginia's taking a personal day today. She's just, got a couple things she's going through, so she's going to sit this one out today. And
Yeah, I know people are very annoyed that we're being cryptic and we can't talk about certain stuff.
Well,
but
it's her personal business, and she didn't want to talk about it. So what? I'm going to talk about her personal business when she doesn't want to on the radio?
Of course not. Yeah, y'all step off.
I'd be the worst friend ever.
Worst friend.
I
But
couldn't-
worst friend ever. Best radio guy?
Some radio guys would do that, and their whole show hates them.
You are totally right about that.
I'm not going to be that guy. It's not worth it. The question I have, I'm going to throw this out there today. What is on my mind is I'm starting to get back into the golf game. In my early 30s, I was faced with a decision. I realized I only had time and money for one of two things, and I was either really seriously going to the gym or seriously getting into golf. I went with gym, and I did all that. As I got older, my body started to hurt. I started to purposely downsize just to be a little bit more lean and mean and watch what I eat more than anything else. So I'm kind of picking the golf game back up, trying to do it slowly but surely. And I'm low budget. This is pandemic budget Kev. So I told you yesterday that one of the cool things you can do for not a lot of money is go out. I got this low budget driving range. I don't want to tell you exactly where because I'm going to steal it. Everybody's going to take my spot.
I think I know where it's at.
Yeah, I think you know where I go. You know where I go. I'm not going to tell anybody else.
It's very Caddyshack of you.
It is. It's like $8 for a bucket of balls. You go out there and you just whack away for an hour. It's a lot of fun.
Is it packed there?
No, it's not. It is. I would say it's full. That's why I can't tell you because there's about maybe 8 to 10 spots open where you can hit, and maybe 2 are open. And if I say this now and I give away my secret, I might fill up those last 2 spots.
Yeah, you can't give up the secret.
I can't give
No,
it
you
up. I can't tell you where I'm going. But it's a great value and it's a lot of fun. And I think we're going to go to that golf course because it's a public course. I'm not one of them,
You don't have a membership.
Yeah, I'm not a membership kind of guy.
We're not classy enough to have membership.
I'm the caddy from Caddyshack kind of guy, yeah. But that's my question. I know there's a lot of really solid public courses in South Florida. And I'm also one of those people, too. I like 9 holes, 18 holes. By the time I hit hole 15, I'm like, I'm so over this. I'm not there yet where I'm like on hole 18 being going, I wish it wouldn't end.
It's so funny. When I used to work at that ritzy golf course, you could always tell when they would, when the holidays were around, because they'd always bring the uncle that didn't belong there, that wasn't really dressed up to code, didn't really have the right clothing on.
He's a guest.
Very low budget.
You can tell the guest from the members.
That would be us.
Yeah, I'm always a guest, never a member. That's kind of the way it rolls. But I went to Delray Beach Golf Club a couple weeks ago because my father-in-law had a gift certificate he'd won at a thing. So I don't know if that's public or private or what the deal is, and it was nice. But I know what some of the courses are because I've been lucky enough to play the breakers and some of those. And there's some oh yeah, watch out for hole number 1, man. It's a killer. But there's some really nice courses. But I just want the nice public courses where maybe you could go and play 9 holes and that's it. So,
now you're starting to. It's almost kind of like going from McDonald's to Culver's. It's that next step, brother.
Well, I'm at McDonald's. I'm asking you for the McDonald's of golf. Where is the McDonald's of golf? The best places to go in South Florida. So I need to put together my list because it would be nice to have a little variety and play different places.
You know what I love about golf? I love just being the passenger and just chilling and driving in the golf, just looking
I've
at
done
the
that too, and
looking
just
at the
drink.
holes, just drink and just kind of chill out and enjoy the environment. No pressure.
Right.
Have a few laughs, get a little buzz.
I'll cheer you on. I'll grab your clubs.
That was the one cool thing when we worked at the fancy golf course. You were allowed to, you had certain privileges. You were allowed to go out there, and I'd play with the other guys in the bag room, but I would just go along at just in the passenger seat, and it was so nice and peaceful when the sun was going down.
Yeah,
I get why people like golf.
It is.
If you don't
nice.
if you don't get overly competitive with it,
right? And to me, you want something that can help cut stress and just get your mind off everything going on in the world, but it's not going to cost a ton of money, and that's why I'm looking for this.
Unless your golf game is causing you stress, where you missed the putt. No, damn it!
Right, you gotta. Trust me. I've chucked a club. I broke a club.
Oh, I've been in men's basketball league just to get some exercise. I'm not taking it seriously. There's a lot of people who take adult activities like athletics very seriously.
Oh, I hear you. No, that's my whole family.
I have 2 friends that are not allowed at the Palm Beach Gardens gym ever. They've been banned for life.
That's impressive.
And 2 of them you know very well.
I know. I do know. It's impressive. All right, coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Yesterday on my personal Twitter, and also retweeted it on KVJ show last night. If you're trying to just get any idea, be like, okay, what is really going on in the world? Because the news and what you see on TV about coronavirus and COVID, it is a mess.
It's just like, it's real life Twitter.
I hate it. It's so confusing. It's so misleading. It's about an agenda. It's a narrative that is going on. I found some really good sites. In fact, there's one FAU has put out about giving you the real digits, so you can just go on there and get an idea of how bad are things? Where are we trending? What is the real story going on with COVID? And there's also a couple accounts that you can follow from some people who are doing some really solid work at cutting through all the BS and COVID. And there's some really interesting numbers, too, I wanted to give you. Just kind of a quick little snapshot comparing COVID to other killers I got for you coming up.
Check out KVJ TV on YouTube or just log on to kvjshow.com to watch the show now. Powered by Cleveland Clinic, where every life deserves world-class care. Now, back to the KVJ show on 97.9 WRMF.
I want to say thanks to everybody that is doing exactly what I asked, giving me some ideas on some great public courses you can go to play some golf. If you do not know of other places or you're tired of the place that you always go to, some of these suggestions is Osprey Point. Somebody said that is the best by far. Good luck getting a tee time, though. Okehili is nice as well. Both have 3 to 9 hole tracks, which is exactly what I'm looking for.
Just call up the Osprey Point Park or whatever it's called and say, hey, this is the Kevin Ralston.
Oh, yeah?
I need a hole now.
See, I don't know if that's going to work because somebody also texted in. They said, yeah, my husband worked at a golf course years ago. Kevin came in a T-shirt. Well, you got to wear a collared shirt and the shit. And they had to give me a collared T-shirt so I could go out and play, and then I returned it all sweaty afterwards.
Yeah, that sounds like us.
I think I vaguely remember that, so I apologize. See, that's just the kind of I'm more caddy than I am Caddyshack.
That one time we played golf, we weren't wearing shoes. We were barefoot.
Yeah, I don't do it right. That's why I'm looking for these, basically low budget, pretty cheap golf courses. Sandhill Crane Golf Club and Gardens, Lost Lake Golf Club and Hope Sound. The Palm Beach Par 3, yes, I'd heard about that. Village Golf Course in Royal Palm and Madison Green in Royal Palm, which I played before, and that might be where I came in the T-shirt, so... Anyway, thank you very much for all those little places to check out. Do appreciate it. Just real quick, I won't spend a lot of time on it, but you keep everywhere you go with like the news and all that stuff. It's still coronavirus. Our world's still affected by it. My policy. I'm following the basic guidelines. Do the mask thing. I'm all good with that. Washing my hands a lot. Trying to do the social distancing and staying away from large crowds. So that's all it. But I am definitely to the place where I'm like, we got to get out and start doing stuff again and get things moving. And I'm happy to say the big thing you need to look at, because there's so many confusing numbers, is hospitalizations. Good news, 232 less net hospitalizations in Florida yesterday, Bird.
Positive K!
It's trending down. It's looking good. Percent positives are looking pretty stable and getting low, too. I think Palm Beach County is around 7%. We got to get to 5%, and then we can start swinging the doors way back open again. Yesterday marked the 19th straight day the state has reported less than 10,000 cases in a day. That's a solid trend of almost 3 weeks.
You know what we need to do to make the Corona talk a little bit more lively? Every time you got some good news, we should have some kind of like sound effect or a air horn. Like, woo!
Yeah.
Something to really get the people excited. That's a celebration.
Okay, see, there you go. So yeah, so there are a lot of good positives on that. And the only note that I wanted to make with this is there are some stories out today, and this is just why things have to change, and we have to stop talking about coronavirus so much because we're ignoring other things. People are not paying attention to. I saw this today. It's a headline. Suicide rates, 1 in 4 young adults, 18 to 24 have considered it.
I can only
since the
imagine.
pandemic.
I mean, I think mental health in general.
Yes.
I mean, that. I'm struggling with it over here, and
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a very positive person, and I'm not at a level where I'm so depressed, but it's weighing on me, not getting in that routine. So I can only imagine what it's doing for some other people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also saw too the comparisons on stuff, and I didn't realize this: tuberculosis. Which is something, and they're worried about some things like HIV and tuberculosis because we're so focused on COVID that tuberculosis is a much bigger problem. It's the biggest infectious disease killer worldwide, 1.5 million lives each year.
Took out Doc Holliday.
Yeah, it did. Well, I remember when I worked at the mental hospital at Ohio University, and it was built, it's so spooky. It's one of the biggest haunts in America. It was built like in the early 1900s, and they had tuberculosis wings they built way up on the hill. So if you had tuberculosis, they moved you far away from the other mental patients.
I have heard about that. Those
It's so
old-timey
scary.
hospitals with
man.
all of the TB
Terrifying.
breakouts, and all these people were dying.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer when you have mass death like that. That whole area is just going to be littered with spirits and unrest.
When I was in college, I had to take a scraper and scrape the asbestos paint off the walls in the isolation wing that they had, and they had like metal steel doors, and you would go in there, and they had the brick rooms, and there were claw marks in the brick. I'm like, oh.
From people?
Yes, that were crazy. They were trying to claw through the brick to get out.
Is that still standing?
Yeah.
I would do anything to go in there and do an investigation.
I don't know what they've done in the basement, if they've done anything with it, because the university had bought it and they were refabbing it.
I wonder if we got something like that here in Florida that we could go to where we're able to actually get access and just kind of get some EVPs, a little footage.
Yeah, they've got that one. Remember, it was that boarding school that was killing their students?
Where's
Something
that
like that
at?
somewhere like in northern Florida. I remember we talked about it.
And it's still standing?
I think they have like where the graveyard is, and they were burying the students.
Oh, I do remember
Yes.
that story. It was kind of an over-the-top story.
It is. It's one of those like just old, like it's begging for some kind of horror movie to be made about it.
Why is it that the 1900s just seemed like a great time for ghosts?
Terrifying era.
Is that just because that's what we're
I
led
don't
to
know.
believe?
That whole era, the photos look scary. Well, you look at when they had the Spanish flu in 1918, those masks, the doctors, everything was horrifying around that time. Just crazy. And I did see, comparing the numbers too, 675,000 deaths from the Spanish flu in the year 1918. And so far, that number in the U.S., we've had 165,000. So if you want to compare Spanish flu year versus what we're going through with coronavirus, it's 675 flu, 165 coronavirus in the U.S. So those are just a couple numbers that I wanted to throw out to you.
I didn't even know about the TB stats. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing, but I'm just telling you, it's getting better. It's getting better day by day. Coming up here in just a couple of minutes, I thought this was rather interesting because I was breaking the law on all these things. Items you should never store in your pantry.
Huh.
They belong in the fridge instead.
Oh, I need to hear this.
I think there were 6 things on this list. I violated every single one of them. Somebody just pointed out to me, like, did Kev do Corona Talk to say we need to stop doing Corona Talk? Yeah, that was kind of weird. Yeah, you're right.
I get that people get annoyed with the Corona talk, but I mean, there is a pandemic going on, and we do have to mention it every now and then. If not, people will get on our ass if we're not mentioning something that is a glaring problem in the world.
Well, it's massively affecting your life. And so when something massively affects your life, it feels weird to never talk about it. You ever been in a situation where it's like the elephant in the room? You're like going, okay, we're not going to talk about this. It's going on.
Well, people are sending me like personal scathing emails going, dude, I'm done listening to your show. All you guys do is talk Corona. It sucks. You guys suck. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Go watch a Taylor Swift concert. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. I mean, it's affecting my life. We talk about what happens in our life.
I mean, we can talk farts for 4 hours.
And it's 95% COVID free.
I mean, good Lord.
I know.
I'm going to go with Virginia.
We were talking about how, I was giving you the stats on the tuberculosis, which a lot of people have just kind of forgotten about how much bigger of a killer that is. But I was talking about how when I used to work at High University, I would do landscaping, and part of it was when it would rain, we'd have to go inside the mental hospital because I did the grounds crew work outside of it. And we went down to the basement. That was where they had the holding cells for the the people that were harming others.
Yeah.
And they had it was just like a movie, the big old metal doors with the little slits in it and the brick walls, and there were like claw marks on it. It was just terrifying. And then they had the tuberculosis hospitals, which were way up, even further up on the hill, but they had to separate them, letting you know, because it's the same thing. It was social distancing then like it is now.
My grandma on my dad's side worked as a nurse in the mental hospital. And she had so many stories.
Mental hospitals,
we're talking back in the 60s.
Well, it changed in the 60s the way they, dealt with mental health in America. But before then, it was just kind of like, lock them up and throw away the key kind of concept. So any mental hospital from like the earlier 1900s, it's terrifying because they weren't building nice places for these people.
I mean, the clawing part, that just sounds like you've lost your mind completely.
Well, I didn't know what it was. I'm like, what are all these grooves? And my buddy who worked with me, he's like, that's where they were that's fingernail marks. I'm like, no.
Back then, too, there was some really shady type of practices going on when it came to mental testing.
Absolutely,
I mean, and maybe even earlier than the 60s. I'm talking.
It was a terrifying era. You're right. That's why it's such a great haunting era.
Experimental kind of stuff to see if this works. There's some crazy stuff.
A lot of restless souls that are out there.
Yes.
That's what it gave you. Somebody said if you wanted to find a place, they said, that place you're talking about, more in North Florida, where it was kind of like a boarding school or something like that. I don't remember all the details of the story, but I know we talked about it at length at one time, where they had found that, I think kind of the same area, they're like killing some of the students and things like that and burying them in unmarked graves.
Here's the tricky thing about places like that. A lot of times they won't allow a ghost team to go in there. You have to almost know somebody or be very worldly known to get that kind of
special privilege.
Yeah, but I would do anything to get in that thing.
Somebody texted and said that's Dozier School. Dozier. So if you want to find out more about that.
Don't forget, too, this Sunday on the Travel Channel, 9 o'clock, my ghost special with Vicky will be on. I'm very excited.
Somebody had tweeted a question about that to us, and I don't know if you had an answer because they were setting it to record Sunday night show with Jaybird. I know it's the one where he's supposed to, where the ghost rips the covers off of him, but they looked at what they have for the paranormal caught on camera on the Travel Channel, and it says Las Vegas UFOs and more. A man in Florida encounters an elusive and stinky Sasquatch. Ghost hunters attempt to contact the spirit of a murder victim in Tennessee, and a resident of Las Vegas captures incredible footage of UFOs soaring through the skies.
So that could just be a mistake. All I'm going on is what the producer emailed me, and he said our segment's going to watch it be like a 2-second thing at the end over the credits. You don't even see my face. You just see the credits.
That's how you're on the credits?
No. I'm saying watch. That's what's going to happen.
Because it doesn't sound like you made the description.
No, I think that's wrong. I think the description is wrong. And that does happen sometimes when, I mean, I've noticed that on regular programming where I've recorded it, I've read the description and go, that's not right.
Yeah, but they did send that. That's what the Travel Channel's listing as going to be on Paranormal Caught on Camera Sunday at 9 o'clock.
Of course, it's confusing. And here's the thing. If you guys miss it, I'll make sure that we post this somehow on our social media. Even if I have to film it with my iPhone, poor man style.
We'll take care of it. Yeah. Also, somebody said there's an abandoned hospital in Belle Glade.
Yes, I believe we've reached out to them before, and that was a no, but we could reach out again.
Okay.
That was a couple years ago.
And somebody also suggested you go to Indian Wood out in Indian Town. Apparently, they got a spooky, like, abandoned type hospital kind of thing.
Indian Town?
Yeah.
Huh.
Maybe check it out.
Can you send us more information on that?
Okay. The bird is interesting.
Well, we are just salivating at getting a new place to investigate.
Okay.
Other than my place.
Yeah.
We're still doing cameras. Vicky wants to put cameras and film me the night of when it airs, just to see if there's any extra activity. We kind of feel like
right.
the
They know they're
ghosts
on TV?
They know about the special.
That'd be crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Items you should never store in your pantry. This is from Food and Wine Magazine. I learned some things because I'm violating like all of these. These fancy chefs say nuts. Don't store them in your pantry. They should go like in your fridge or freezer. They say wet hands and moisture will cause them to go stale. Okay. I always put mine in my pantry and they seem to be fine to me.
My nuts don't make it a day.
Yeah.
I mean, I go through them pretty quick.
My nuts are getting old. They're just kind of sitting there.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
you gotta
maybe
cool
I
those
need-
things down.
Maybe I need to cool them down. Mustard, they say, will lose its pungency in the pantry. Plus, it can ferment and explode on you if it's not kept cool. Mustard. Don't keep it in the pantry.
I like a warm mustard. Cold mustard kind of grosses me out. I like a little hot. I like it warm.
Peanut butter, they say it'll last 3 months in the pantry, then the oil separation occurs, and in the fridge, you'll double the life and freshness of your peanut butter.
But have you ever tried to spread peanut butter right out of the fridge? It's almost as hard as drinking
Doesn't work.
a McDonald's milkshake through a straw.
It's like you'd have to
really
heat it up.
hard.
Yeah. Chocolate, they say keeping chocolate in the fridge helps it stay as fresh as possible.
That's another one that doesn't stay too long.
Bread, if you store in the pantry, it'll become moldy. If you place it in a plastic bag and refrigerate it, it'll last much longer.
Yeah, man, a lot of my bread goes moldy. I'm like losing bread left and right.
Try the fridge. That's what they say. And maple syrup, it'll grow moldy outside the fridge, especially the organic varieties. So those are all items that if you're put in the pantry, they say put in the fridge instead.
Learning.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
That place in Jupiter you had just said about the hospital.
Indian Town.
Yeah, I think they were talking about a golf course. Were they talking about golf course?
Oh, I don't know, maybe.
Okay, because I've never heard of that in Indian Town.
There's a lot of texts that are coming in.
I'll feel stupid if I've been missing out on something that was in our own backyard like that.
Okay. all right.
Indian Town is Jupiter, right?
No.
Where's Indian Town?
There's an Indian Town road in Jupiter, but Indian Town is a town.
Where is that?
Out the Beeline.
Okay.
You grew up here?
Not out west, dog.
Okay.
Beeline. I mean,
All right,
that's
so
some
you never heard
murderers
of
out.
Indian Town as a town?
I mean, we did go out the Beeline when my dad wanted to go fish in really weird, scary places.
Yeah, so there is a road and a town.
Wow.
Yeah, you're learning new stuff every day. Look at this show, huh?
This is 97.9 WRMF, Palm Beach.
Well, Jay Bird has got his paranormal show that is going to be on Travel. Is that what it is?
Yes.
On Sunday night
Travel
at 9 o'clock?
Channel, yep.
Yeah, people are looking at the description. It's not listed on the description, but just record that if you want to see it. Also, getting a little bit of clarity on some of the little local haunts here. We were talking about the mental hospital that I used to do the landscaping at back in college and some of the rooms that were there. Some people are letting us know about Indian Town. It's the Seminole Inn in Indian Town that is haunted. They've actually had ghost hunters there before. That was the reference. Indian Wood is a golf course.
Okay.
So Indian Wood's the golf course. Seminole Inn in Indian Town is what you want. And Indian Town is a town, not a road. So
We got a lot going on here.
we do. And somebody else texted in this story. They said, yeah, I work in an area hospital. We had this patient who was very ill, and we're waiting for all the family to arrive. Her husband comes in first, introduces himself, stays for a little while, talks to myself and the 3 other nurses, and then leaves. And then the rest of the family gets there. And we say, oh, okay, well, you know what? Her husband was just here. We just had a nice little chat. And they said, he died 3 years ago.
Whoa. Yeah, I have talked to 2 different nurses that they both have said they have seen spirits without a doubt, and they said sometimes when someone's about to die, the one nurse said when someone's really knocking on death's door, you can sometimes see one of their loved ones appear in the room. She said she saw one of their loved ones appear in the room. Yeah,
That's okay. That'll let you know something's up. Right?
Hell yeah. I don't think this nurse
Yeah.
is lying to me.
Yeah.
Maybe she is. Maybe she's a psychotic nurse, but I believed her.
I'm sure a lot of nurses have a lot of stories like that.
Oh yeah.
Got some celebrity birthdays here today. Got Mila Kunis turning 37 today. Halle Berry is 54. Magic Johnson, formerly the Lakers, now a very successful businessman, 61. Steve Martin, comedian, 75. And Florida's favorite son, Tim Tebow, is 33 today. been doing a lot of stuff. He's still trying that baseball thing. Still doing commentary for college football, I believe, on ESPN.
Good for him.
Yeah.
People hate on him because they're not as pure as him.
Yeah,
He's a good dude, man. I don't know why anyone's going to hate on that guy.
I know. I don't know what there is to hate on. I was thinking about this. I was looking at this list. We'll get to in just a second. Trends we forgot. You remember the Tebow where people were doing that, taking the photos of them doing Tebow when he'd score a touchdown and get down that praying pose?
It was so popular.
Yeah. What other little trends did we used to have that were here and hot and are just gone and you never talk about them anymore? We'll get to that coming up in a few, along with the no-name movie game on the way. Also, a couple other birthdays. I really want to wish my amazing wife, Summer, a happy birthday. You guys rock. Thank you. Look at that beautiful photo.
Aww.
Her and the baby right there on Kvj Tv on YouTube. You can watch right now.
That baby's just staring at mama's
That's
eyes.
love. That is love, man. That's great to see that stuff. Happy 30th birthday, Camille. We can't wait to celebrate from Chelsea, Ian, and the pups. Also, happy birthday to my beautiful and loving girlfriend, Nicole. You are amazing, and you make my life better. Love you. Love Mike, who sent that in. Celebrating all your birthdays today. Thank you guys so much for celebrating with the KVJ show. Tim Tebow, Florida's favorite son, is turning 33 years old today. I guess in athlete years, he's starting to get there. At baseball, you can play into your 40s.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got a little bit of time on that. But
Satchel Paige, if you look how old he was when he played. I know it's an old
you know
reference.
he's got to be old because his name is Satchel. Is he named after a bag?
It's old. It's an old reference, but look into that. He was very old.
Not a lot of kids walking around with the name Satchel these days. Yeah, but you remember the Tebowing that was a viral hit. Guess that probably has to be almost 10 years ago now?
It has to be, yeah.
Dang. Harlem Shake videos, that was maybe 7 years ago?
It has to.
No,
whenever,
it has to be 8 years ago because that was 2 radio stations ago for us.
It was, and it was kind of after Carlos Mencia was hot. He was coming down off of his hotness.
Yeah.
So it was just after whenever all that was kind of going on.
Yeah, we usually get people on there coming down.
You're right.
That's KVJ style.
We always get somebody when their career is just not.
We get you on the come down. Don't worry. If your career is on the downslide, you got a place to go.
Always.
We're here for you, man. Ice Bucket Challenge. Remember that? That was real hot for a hot minute.
They do. Don't they still do kind of different challenges if they're trying to raise money for a disease?
Yeah.
You had the ice bucket. I thought that was another one.
They will. They've had hot chicken grease. I was supposed to see you were paying attention.
Oh, I'm paying attention.
Can you imagine the hot chicken grease challenge?
Well, remember I tried to get my own going. I tried to do the one where we had to sauce it. You had to sauce somebody,
Yeah, I do.
And people started getting mad and complaining. You're wasting food.
It didn't take
It
off.
was the opposite effect of doing. I was trying to do something good, but people got mad at me.
It didn't work out at all. Planking. Somebody said, yeah, planking. Forgot about that. That was real hot. Probably about the same time, about 9 years ago.
I remember we were in Miami and we did a planking bit where I had to plank over horse poop.
Yeah, we did. I think we've done that a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah, we will repeat stuff.
Got to, man. 4 hours a day,
What-
5 days a week.
What was that one thing where people were getting arrested or getting in trouble because they were trying to find virtual dinosaurs and they were going to people's yards?
Pokemon Go.
Yeah, that was the biggest rage, and then all of a
That
sudden
was.
it just gone like that.
It's still, in fact, I was talking to a middle-aged dude the other day. He still does it. He's a nerd in it. His kids got him into it, and they quit. And they're like, Dad, that's so lame.
And he's still doing
But
it.
he's in all the dorky groups and stuff.
But you know what, though? A dorky group, we all need to be involved in one. I'm involved in a couple. I'm involved in a toy collector dorky group.
Yeah.
I am in a Billy Joel dorky group. I'm in a wiffle ball dorky group. You need those things in life.
So I think a lot of the kids are out of Pokemon Go, and now their dorky parents are into it. Fidget spinners. You got to remember when people were dressing up as creepy clowns and scaring kids?
And then you weren't
Thankfully, that's gone.
Well, then the real clowns took a hit, and they were legit sad. They were sad clowns because they couldn't do their craft anymore.
Yeah, so lots of fun things. Thanks for the thoughts and ideas. You can text them into the KVJ show. All right, Virginia taking a personal day today, so I guess that means I'm back in the saddle again.
The Kevin Ralston?
Yeah, I am.
Are you the champ, Dennys?
Dennys is the
I
champ
am.
over there. Look at that.
Where's the belt?
It is at my house.
I saw it there yesterday.
You should have let me know to bring it in.
I said something. I don't think you heard me.
Okay, all right.
You don't think I said something, do you?
No, I don't.
I did.
You might have been focused on something else.
Yeah, it's bird too.
Bird, too. Yeah, you're probably right.
Bad time for a suggestion, actually, Bert. That was terrible timing.
I might have just thought it and thought I said it. That's probably what happened.
I would have grabbed it. Yeah, Jen was moving stuff, and she put it somewhere, and then I was like, oh, I'll make a mental note, and then...
I'm impressed you guys actually take that thing home.
We do, because we have good intentions of doing something fun with it, and then we forget about it.
I did a social media post with it and then left it.
Okay. Well, at least you did something.
Yeah,
with it.
don't worry. No one cares about the belt, Dennys.
All right. Well, I tell you, if I win, I will not be taking it home. It'll stay right here. If it were here.
Yeah, it'll be wherever it is.
I'm going to fill in for Virginia today, but I'm going to pull up somebody from Tequesta in her spirit. We'll get Amanda here to pair up with me in the No Name Movie Game. Hello, Amanda.
Hello.
Are you ready for this?
Oh, well, I'm ready.
Okay. All right.
I think I like that. Hopefully I can knock the rust off pretty quick. It'd be fun to get a win over these two chumps.
I mean,
Let's do this.
don't get nervous, but you are playing with the Kevin Ralston.
It's intimidating, I know. Very intimidating.
Well, I've played with Dennys before, and we didn't do too hot, so let's see if Kevin and I can have a better track.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see.
Damn, she's talking trash, dog.
Come on.
Kind of. All right. No Name Movie Game. I give you the clues to movies. I can't use the characters' names, actors' names, or any of the words from the title of the movie. We got 60 seconds on the clock. Our time begins now. It is a big superhero movie. It's the offshoot where it's a little bit more funny, though. Pass.
Avengers.
No. This
I don't know
is
superheroes.
another nickname for where you go gambling, and it's not good. It's when you commit a, and it's not a town. It's bigger than a town. Pass. Pass. It is something that you put on your wrist. What do you call that? And it tells the time.
A watch.
Okay.
Watch.
Got it. You got
very
it.
nice. Okay. He shoots webs, climbs walls.
Spider-Man.
Yep. It was a basketball movie with an NBA star, and they're redoing it. It's in outer...
Pass.
Okay. Pass. Okay, it's not white, it's the opposite, and it swims in the sea and the ocean. Yes. And it's a whale movie. Killer whale movie.
Black orca, black...
Yeah, blackfish.
Blackfish.
Yeah, we got two.
Oh, yes.
Now
That
two.
movie.
That might be enough to win the tournament.
I don't know. It might be. We'll see, Amanda. Sorry about
Space
that.
Jam was the one you're talking about with Michael
Space Jam
Jordan.
was the one. Guardians of the Galaxy was the superhero one that I was talking about. Offbeat. Sin City also is in there. So I don't play this game often.
You like Sin City, don't you, Dennys?
Yeah, I thought it was really stylishly done.
Okay. It's a great critique.
Yeah, I thought it looked neat.
Thank you, Ebert.
Okay.
I've seen it once.
Got Anthony on here from Gardens to pair up with Dennys. Hello, Anthony.
Hello. How you guys doing?
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 60
Let's do it,
seconds
Kenny.
on the clock. You only have to beat two because I am not very good at the no-name movie game. All right. Here we go. Your time begins now.
If you go out into the woods and you're trying to get some food and you're using a rifle to shoot these, you would be considered... It's also a movie about...
Marksman.
Pass that one. This is it flies in the air and shoots fire, and it's not blue and it's not yellow. It would be another color. It's also about
Red.
Yep. So what's that
Red
movie?
Dragon.
Yep. Yeah. This is if you work for somebody and they're just awful. They're not good. There's 3 in this scenario from the movie. Pass that one.
Bad bosses.
Close.
Employee. Bad.
So wah. And I'm a boy. Oh, geez, pass that one. Let's see here. If you're not the winners.
Losers.
Yep. This is I want to suck your blood. The famous one.
Dracula.
Yep. That you buy these in hope to make a ton of money. You just need $1 and a dream.
Wolf on Wall Street.
No.
Okay. Got 3, though. Knocked me out of it already.
Creeping by.
You knocked out the Kevin Ralston, dog.
Yeah.
I would put that on your Wikipedia page.
We got Ray from Fort Lauderdale here to pair up with Jaybird. Hello, Ray.
Hello.
Ray.
Jason, I asked to play with you, and if we can't beat the witch, we gotta put down the rig.
I love your attitude. I love your spirit.
I know, right?
Oh, we want to beat him, and we want to beat Dennys. Let's just make him cry.
Let's do it, Jason, because you know what? We are kindred.
Okay, I like
You're
it.
kindred.
I speak Jason.
Okay, well, there you go. Look at this connection. It's already happening here with Ray.
I love you, Ray.
She's pretty amazing. Okay, you just got to beat 3 to get the win. That's a beatable score here. 60 seconds on the clock. Bird and Ray, your time begins now.
This is not a woman. It's the opposite of a woman.
Man.
They throw news stuff at you. They ride a bike. They throw it. They drive the car.
Newspaper man.
Okay, take out the news and just put
Paper man.
Yes.
Paper man.
Yes. Think about this. I am a executive for a music company. I also own my own pass. I am a bank robber. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna get a team together and we're gonna create and make a have a
heist.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes. Yes. Pass, Denny. Pass. If you jump into my house, I'm gonna tell you blank if I don't know you. I don't know you. Blank.
Get out.
Yes, you
Get
got
out.
it. You got it. You are the leader of an animal. You own animals. You have your own animal place.
Zookeeper.
Yes.
Zookeeper.
Yes. Pass, Denny's.
You won.
Yes.
Is that right? He got a 4 spot. Bird is the
It's great.
champ. Ray, you
It's
did
over. My
Yes.
drought is over.
it. The drought is over. The bird gets a win.
Yes, Ray.
Nice.
Oh, we did it today, Ray.
Wow. That is some exciting stuff, huh?
Whoa.
Look at that. It's like Ray always knew that you guys were going to do it. Oh, and you get a sexy belly shake.
Ray and Jay.
Yeah. Very nice, Ray. You're awesome. Thank you so much.
You got it, Jason.
Okay. There you go. Ray bringing home the victory, man.
Love her intensity.
Yeah. She was ready to go. You could tell. She's had that fire.
Yeah, she was getting off that phone losing.
No, she was ready for it. All right, coming up here in just a couple of minutes, got your Feel Good Fridays. If you got something that you want to drop on us, you can. 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. Want to hear your positivity. And just curious if you can solve this mystery sound. What is going on in this clip? Okay. Anybody have any idea what is going on in this clip? Let us know at the KVJ Show. Okay, we got a mystery sound here for you. What do you think is happening in this clip? That sounds like a familiar tone of disgust in there.
You know the voice, maybe.
Yeah, but what is going on? We have Cameron here from Boynton Beach. Cameron, any idea what is happening in this viral audio clip here today?
What's going on, KVJ?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, that is a very distraught Jason opening a door and trying to see his owl.
You nailed it, my man.
Yeah.
It's not the hardest mystery sound, but
Yeah.
it's my life, bro.
Well, at least you could hear that's the actual owl that has
Yeah.
been keeping you awake the last 3 nights.
The audio, I lifted the audio a bit, so it's a little bit more intense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is, and I think I located the tree, but I'm not 100% sure. But that is the sound that's keeping me up for the last 3 days.
Wow, that is actually pretty loud.
I've been trying. If anyone knows anything about owls, does anybody know? Because there's all kind of different owls, and I was trying to look up the sound, and it's very hard. Does anyone know what kind of owl that is?
Okay.
And is that an owl? Is that even an owl?
I don't know. It sounds like an owl to me. That'd be my first guess too.
But you're no owl expert.
No, you're right. Dennys is our animal expert. Maybe he would know. Are you sure that's not Dennys? Do you have Dennys in your tree? Is he practicing Dennys or animal?
Next week we got to do owl or Dennys.
Dennys is in your tree just going. Yeah, that might be Dennys. I don't know.
Yeah, I still can't. I still have not been able to have a restful night of sleep. One person reached out to me that sort of knows about owls, but I feel like they were messing with me.
Yeah, I know. I forwarded you an email. Somebody saying there are people that take care of this kind of thing, and you can call them out, and they'll inspect and let you know what's up and deal with the owl in a humane way.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Relocate it.
Yeah.
Or you just got to move faster.
I read up a lot about owls this morning.
You did?
Or, yeah, this morning. Yeah, 2:30 a.m. this morning.
What did you? Well, you couldn't sleep anyway, so you might as well look up owls.
That's why I was looking it up. I have learned that some of these Florida owls, they sometimes they usually try to go 20 feet high.
Okay.
They like a high area. What else did I learn about? There's many different kinds of
The
owls.
owls like to get high.
Maybe it is Dennys.
I was going to say it's starting to really kind of work out. Wait, hold on. That's definitely Dennys.
And the tree area that there's like 6 or 7 trees in my area that it could be in, so it's burrowed somewhere in there.
So what are you going to do? You're going to climb 20 feet up into 6 different trees to try to find this thing? And then let's say you came face to face with an owl. What are you going to do?
I think the trees are taller than 20 feet, to be quite honest with you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Some of them are.
Yeah. I know they got the burrowing owls. That's always kind of interesting to see an owl that digs and lives in the ground.
I think they say, yeah, a lot. I think they all burrow.
Do all of them burrow? Okay.
According to I'm like 90% sure on that.
Well, that's
I
better
read,
than normal.
I read my owl facts pretty quick.
Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah, I've seen the burrowing owls. I would go to a lot of, in fact, Central Park there in Plantation, I think is where it is. They always, at the softball fields there, they always had the burrowing owls, and they have to put like little barriers up around them, and you would sit there and you could just stand on the other side of the barrier and see an owl down in a hole. I was like, that's crazy.
Would you be able to sleep through that?
I have a fan that's really loud. I have a lot of fans.
I do too. I have fans. I have air conditioning, and I can still hear that.
Still hear it.
Yes, that's what's maddening. Even over my Thunder app.
Yeah, that might keep me awake too. That's tough. Somebody said it might be a barred owl. Other people are saying a barn owl. So barn or bard is what you could have.
Okay, is that bard a typo?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, the email that I forwarded you to, maybe that person will be able to get that there. So you're sleep deprived. Virginia's going through stuff. Man, we need a weekend, huh?
We're limping along. This Titanic is sinking.
We just had a 4-day week and we barely made it.
Me and Dennys were talking. There's always drama during our 4-day weeks. There's always something that goes wrong. We always get bad news or someone's losing their mind.
So does that mean we can't take extended weekends anymore if we come back to a terrible week?
I think you're right, Kev.
Okay, maybe that's it. Oh, yeah, it is Friday here on the KVJ show. It is Kevin and Burr. Virginia is taking a little bit of a personal day today. She's just kind of, easing her mind, I guess, from the world's troubles. So.
I like how you say that. That was very peaceful.
Yeah.
The world's troubles.
Trying to figure out the best way to phrase it. If you listen to yesterday's After the Show podcast, you can kind of hear it coming. She's like, I'm taking a personal day tomorrow. So
I think I'm going to crack some beers open, too, past, we passed 8A?
You're 6 minutes away.
Okay.
If that's your thing, go for it, my man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's have some fun
Let's
with
have
it.
some fun.
Yeah.
Right? Fun's contagious, by the way.
I'm all about fun.
Yeah.
I'm all about fun. All right, let me see some Feel Good Fridays here today. Got an email from Caitlin in Tucson, Arizona. She said, what a heck of a day I had yesterday. I noticed at 6:15 a.m. that my car had been stolen. Called the police to report it stolen at 6:45. They came to my apartment at 9 a.m., took my statement by 10:15. And I received a call from the police saying that they found my car. I got an Uber to the area my car was. A few minor things have been stolen, just some sunglasses and stuff like that, but no physical damage. And by 11 a.m., my car was back in my possession and we were home. Thankfully, since I drive a Chevy, I got an OnStar subscription. And OnStar and the Tucson police were able to work together to find my car. Special shout out to both of them for being so awesome.
I always wonder, if you find your car and everything's cool and they arrest the person, are you allowed to have words with the person that stole your car?
Not typically, I don't think.
I think you should be allowed
It'd be nice.
at least a minute. They don't even get to say anything. You put a glass.
They're restrained.
Yeah.
They sit in a chair.
You just say, you stole my property. You really screwed my life over. I just want to look you in the eye and let you know that you're a jerk. I think you should be allowed that.
They'll be like, I don't care.
I know, but it's for you,
and
not
then you
them.
go punch them, then you get arrested.
Yeah, again, I hear you. You know, you want that last final word.
Couple texts that we got here. This one says, I'm a second-year teacher. I'm almost through the first week, and I feel so much more confident in my classroom management. Thank you, KVJ, especially Virginia, for thinking about the teachers. What she said yesterday about the teacher trying to manage the remote students and also the in-person student eating their mask is very accurate. I hope she feels better. I love you guys. Somebody else texted in, said that they started a new job this week. Their youngest son, Jason, turned 5, and they're taking him to a surprise trip to Universal tomorrow.
Got to watch those Jasons. They get a little crazy and wild.
You don't have to tell me, my man. Somebody else said, my son and I are going to Daytona to watch the NASCAR races. Starting a tradition that my dad and I had, who'd passed away on Cinco de Mayo this last year.
I love when people make traditions with their parents and they still continue to do them after they pass.
Yeah, that is a really cool thing. And I think it's this weekend. There was a buddy of mine. He does radio in Charlotte. 2 weeks ago, sadly, his daughter died in a car accident. But there's going to be one of the cars at Daytona this weekend that is going to have a memorial to her on it. That is going to be riding. So, I know that he's excited about that, and he needs something. So, happy to see that going on in Daytona this weekend. Also, let me see. We've got some positive stuff that is going on. Somebody said that I got news this week. I'm going to be switching back to a normal work schedule. The downside, though, no more KVJ Live. And we got a Feel Good Friday here from Harold in Miami. What's your Feel Good Friday here, Harold?
What's up, VJ? What's up, VJ?
You.
No, basically, I'm getting a double paycheck today, you know? That's a good thing.
How are you getting a double paycheck?
Well, I was actually downsized in a sense from my last pest control company that I worked for after 15 years. But I'm getting paid today my commission check from last month, and today I'm getting my first paycheck at my new company that I work for.
Oh, that's good stuff.
So that's why I'm getting my double paycheck, you know?
Double paychecks all the way across the sky. That's beautiful, isn't it?
Quick question. Do you guys deal with owls ever?
I personally have not, so I really can't tell you in your dilemma.
Okay.
But I do deal with rats, but you never call me, man.
I hear you. One problem for another one.
Hey, Harold, with your new job, are you still driving all over South Florida? I know you're down in Miami, and then you're driving all over South Florida. You still doing that with the new job?
Pretty much, yeah, I am.
Okay. Yeah, you got to consider you have to be an expert on South Florida, man, because you see every town, don't you?
Pretty much. I live in Miami, drive to go to Pompano, Boca, pretty much all the places you talk to.
What town do you hate the most?
You can go to Fort Pierce and all that. So.
What town do you hate? What town do you hate the most?
I want to say Boca because of the older generation there.
It's tough, man.
Boca gets it all the time, man.
There's a little toot in Boca. They probably proudly tell you they got a little toot.
I don't spend that much time there. It's really that bad in Boca. That's not
I've told you the stories, yes.
Wow.
There's some toot that goes. It's beautiful. It's a gorgeous town.
But the attitude really is just like, I'm from Boca, yes.
I have personally experienced it, and maybe it's just me that has problems.
Because I'm usually just in the food court when I go to Boca.
Maybe it's just Harold and I. But that's where I told you I was walking through the parking lot, and 3 separate cars honked at me, and I wasn't walking in front of them or anything. I'm like going, are you serious?
Oh, is that the place that did the truck fart on you?
That was in Boca as well, going into Town Center Mall, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and he had a very obnoxious, he cut me off and then honked at me and flipped me off, and he was the one that was violating the traffic law.
And he was truck farting on you.
Yeah, and then he truck farted on me, yeah. And that's odd to find. You would expect that in Loxahatchee, not in Boca.
It's weird. A guy that has a truck that farts smoke. It's amazing that he's a jerk.
I know. Well, Harold, good talking to you. Have a great weekend, okay, bud?
You too, guys. Thanks.
There you go, man. Double paycheck. And also, Christina said, hey, I turned 23 tomorrow. Can I get a shout out for Feel Good Friday? Yeah! Absolutely, Christina.
More KVJ Show right now on 97.9 WRMF.
Weird thoughts you have, just impulsive. A lot of them are all kind of like often dangerous too. Or just, what are you doing, man? This would be the worst idea ever. Yet for some reason, you just feel drawn to do it. You never do it. You just think, and then you wonder to yourself, am I just the only nut job on this planet that has these kind of thoughts? So be open and honest with us. Tell us what those thoughts are that you are having. Mike is on here from West Palm Beach. Mike, true confession here. A couple thoughts. You're wondering, does anybody else have these same thoughts? What is the weird, almost dangerous, impulsive things that go through your brain?
There's no way anyone else has this thought. But when I'm driving on the highway, it never happens on the side streets. If I'm on the highway, like 75 miles per hour, cruise control's on, I always think, like, if I open the door and jump, am I going to survive? Like, how far will I go? It's crazy that I think about that all the time. I mean, it happens all the time.
You're not the only one that thinks that thought.
I've never, as a passenger, there's probably at least 10 times in my life that I thought, okay, what is the worst that could happen if I just bail out of this car right now?
You did remind me of something, brother, that I do think of when I'm driving down the highway. Anytime I drive and look out and there's woods, I always think, how many dead bodies are out there? How many people have been murdered out there? Are there bones? Are there shallow graves out there? I've had that thought since I was
scampering, not babbling brooks.
There's deer scampering, but they're scampering over corpses.
Absolutely. Mike, you got one more twisted thought for us?
I got another one, yeah. So I'm on the top of buildings a lot, too, because of what I do. And when I'm up there, I'm always thinking, like, I wonder, same thing. Like, if I'm on the top of a 4-story building, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I would survive if I fell off of here, if I did. But then, you're on a 20-story building, I'm like, yeah, I'm dead. That's going to be a death blow.
I don't know what it is. I'm terrified of heights, but I will have that weird, impulsive thought every now and then, be going, what would happen if I just jumped? Just out of nowhere. And thank God I never do it, but you're just like, and it's not that I want to commit suicide. I'm just like, I don't know what it is. It's almost like we got a little devil on our shoulders. You'd be like, just do it, jump, man.
The thought I always have, and maybe other people have this too, when I was a little kid, and I still have these thoughts. Yeah. I stepped on an ant and I killed it, and it was a big old ant, and then I started feeling bad. I go, now, is there going to be like a TV news report in the ant community? It's, the equivalent of that throughout the ant community, that one of their loved ones is dead. Obviously, they don't have ant TV, but do they have communication? Does that get back to their family? A giant killed one of their own.
That's giving it the Disney treatment, as I call it. Because you think, how many movies do they have about animals or insects? And you're right. When something like that happens and there is you are ripped apart. And I'm like, did I just do that to a colony? Are there serious mad emotions going on in the colony of whoever this thing is I just killed?
Well, we hate roaches, but let's say you kill a major player in the roach community. You see it scamper across your kitchen, you kill it. Did we just set off a ripple effect of heartache and pain?
Or do they just like, no, don't not even count? Do they have a head count? Did it have a name with all of his roach buddies? Was it a roach's son and its mom is like, oh, not my boy?
Yeah, they're like, oh my gosh, guys, Chet just died. He got killed in that kitchen.
Yes.
What? Chet's dead?
I've had that. It's usually right after I kill a roach. I'm like, did I just set off a lot of pain in its family?
Whatever community that is. Yeah.
Mike, thanks for the call, bud. Appreciate it. Got a bunch of texts that came in here as well. Somebody said, I hated my ex-husband so bad that I used to lay in bed at night looking at him and thinking of ways to murder him, and I could get away with it.
I think that's a common one. You just can't act on it.
You're just sitting there looking at them in bed, be like, how could I kill them? I want them dead so badly.
You look over, he's snoring. You can't get to sleep. Maybe he's sleep farting. You're like, oh, I want him dead.
My favorite twisted thought was beating him over the head with an iron skillet.
Okay, you might have some issues.
Wow.
You might want to sit down with somebody.
Wow. Somebody said the twisted thought I have whenever I go over an overpass, it goes over a highway, I think, what would happen right now if I just turned a hard left with this wheel? I just yanked it just right off the side. It's just like, where does that come from? Why do you think that way?
So I think this way, and it's kind of a morbid thought, and I'm not trying at all to make anybody upset, but it even happened yesterday. I was sitting on Dennys' couch in his living room, and anytime wherever he's at, for whatever, he lives in an area where there's a lot of airplanes flying by and kind of low. Anytime I see a low flying airplane, I think, are they going to crash into something because of 9/11?
Yeah.
Always instantly makes me think of that.
It's the first twisted thought that comes into your mind.
Anytime I see a low-lying plane.
I kind of get that one. Somebody texted in and said, I saw my director's car at a Publix, and I thought about going and letting the air out of a tire. I kind of get that, though.
Have you ever not liked somebody because they did you so wrong? They did you really wrong, and you never would follow through with it. But you just kind of would fantasize about blowing up their car, just eating their sub, and then them looking for it, just doing everything.
There's a fantasy parade. I don't know. I don't remember the specifics of it, but yeah.
There's one person.
There's a younger boy.
There's one person on this planet that makes me think terrible thoughts, and I don't like the person I am when I'm thinking this way. And you know the person.
Twist you out.
Yeah.
I got you.
You probably think the same way.
Somebody else said the weird twisted thought I have is at Thanksgiving, I'm sitting there eating, and I'm wondering how many people at the main table have to die before I get to sit there. Apparently, they're at the B table.
I think we're just twisted, man.
We are. And we got these twisted thoughts, and you feel shameful about them. You're like, well, what's wrong with me? I'm a psychopath.
I think it's normal.
Yeah, to have psychic thoughts.
Psychotic thoughts. I think you can have terrible, terrible thoughts. You just have to know that they, they're just thoughts.
Yeah. The weird, twisted thoughts, impulsive, that normal people have. Why do we have these things? It does happen. We were talking about a few just a minute ago, and some other texts came in. Somebody said, kind of like with Bird in the woods, whenever I'm in the ocean, I think of how many dead bodies are in here. Freaks me out. I get right out.
Oh, that reminded me of another one. I always think about when I drive by water, what would it look like if I drained it all? If I drained the ocean or the lake, what would I see? Bodies, heads, treasure?
Somebody said, I really can't drive underneath an overpass without thinking that, what if this is the moment somebody jumps to their death and hits my car?
Yeah, I get it.
I think it's you see these scenes in maybe a movie, and then it's. I blame them for planting some of these sick, twisted thoughts in our head.
Another one that I think of sometimes, the more we talk about it, the more they're
kind of opening up, you're drinking a beer.
I'm also drinking a very strong beer.
You're getting honest.
If I see someone that looks really, really old, I always think about, I wonder if this is their last week alive. Are they going to have...
Because we all have an expiration clock.
We do. I mean...
Where are they on the counter? They're clearly in the fourth quarter.
Well, it always goes back to my Aunt Ann. A week before, she was great. And then all of a sudden, a week after, she started declining. It's just weird how it happens.
If we all were walking around with a running clock on us, and you could see, that would be crazy. Imagine if you could walk around and you had a weird ability, and every person you saw, they had a timer on them.
That's a Michael J. Fox movie.
Is it really?
That's a Frighteners, where it was one movie where you could see somebody when they were you knew they were going to die.
That's crazy.
You looked at them, you're like, oh boy. They had a look about them, and you knew they were next to die. Yeah, it's pretty freaky.
That'd be a burden. I would not want that. That would be terrible.
No, and I also think about, what is that old person? Are they making a microwavable food meal tonight? Are they ordering out?
That's actually the most twisted idea I've heard.
Like, what's their week like?
You're wondering what frozen meals old people are eating.
I know, man.
That's the most messed up thing I've heard.
By the way, I love this topic.
Somebody said, weird, impulsive, twisted thought I have, always wanting to swerve into a bunch of bicyclists. What the heck, man?
Yeah, what the heck, man?
What the heck, man? And somebody else said, almost every time I'm at the grocery store, I imagine knocking everything down off the shelves and displays. I've done that. I've seen a display. I'm like, what if I just took my arm and just went, just clear the whole thing off?
There are certain flowers I want to eat.
Just weird things you just want to like pop in your mouth and start chewing.
A sunflower looks delicious to me.
It does. It's one of the more delicious looking flowers.
I can't eat it, but by thoughts.
Yeah. We used to have flowers where I grew up. I can't remember what they were, but honeysuckle maybe.
Yes.
You ever had that? You would pick it out and it'd have a sweet little juice on it.
Just don't eat one where a dog pees on it. It's a little salty.
Obviously, you've done this.
Trust me.
Yes. Well, twisted thoughts and the twisted posts that you see online, various different places. Thank you when you see them. You send them to us. Plus, we got somebody here who's pretty weird on the show that's always online finding these little ads that people post up. Maybe
Suits.
Suits? Oh, okay.
He's the one there.
I didn't know Suits was... Well, he hangs out at...
sex shops.
Hustler Video.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Suits in his spare time.
I want to get a picture of Suits in a gimp mask.
He still has his glasses on.
yeah. And his outfit, the tie, the suit, and a gimp mask and his glasses.
Can we do that for a photo shoot?
I got a gimp mask.
Okay. There's no way this guy's not really weird. It's a male seeking anybody legal and willing. And he said, let's dress up in my wig collection. Okay. It says, Grandma died back last summer and she left me all of her wigs. Does anybody want to come model them for me? I'm lonely and I could use a morale boost. Playing dress up all by myself is getting too depressing. I need a partner that would just wig out with me. I can offer you as much weed as you want. I got tons of it. I'm legal, I've got a red card, and I'm also COVID-19 free. I've got the test to prove it. And I've never had genital warts. I get it. This post is weird, but it's real and it's me. This is who I am. I'm just a guy that wants to get high, and I want to dress up in my wigs. Pardon me. I mean my grandma's wigs.
If you're not watching KVJ TV, I highly suggest because this guy is given the performance of his life.
Thank you. Well, that guy deserved credit.
Gosh!
That was a terribly insane post.
Making me want to give you a standing O.
Well, sit down. You're wearing sweats.
Standing O face.
We don't want that. Nobody wants that. You stay right there.
You are in the pocket, baby.
Okay. Here is a male seeking a female, a misconnection. It says you got into an altercation at an Aldi's. Okay. This post says, yeah, I'm looking for the woman who got into an altercation with an Aldi's employee. You didn't want to wear a mask and the Aldi's employee wouldn't let you in the store without one. You told the manager, I don't wear a mask for the same reason I don't wear a condom. It just feels better without wearing one.
Classy.
Well, let's just say that I thought you were so freaking hot when you were defending yourself. I don't believe in masks or condoms either. Go figure, huh? I noticed you didn't have a wedding ring, but you did, however, have a poopa that just wouldn't quit. Yeah, I said it. Yeah. I was the guy filming you and the Aldi's employee going at it. You probably saw me off to the side. I've watched back your video so many times, and I've gotten quite the charge every time I view it, if you know what I mean. No! Hit me up if you want to get together. My bedroom is mask and condom free. Okay. Sit down.
Standing ovation.
Get off the chair. You're going to break your neck.
Standing ovation, my man. You're a thespian.
You're going to hurt yourself. You've been drinking.
You're a thespian. Get this
What'd you call me?
Can somebody get this man in the theater? Not Community?
I'll settle for Lake Worth Playhouse at this point. This is a male seeking a female and maybe a man. Not really sure here. It says, I know I'm ugly, and hopefully you are too.
Oh, well, this one hurts.
This one says, I'm ugly and I know it. I have not been laid in over a decade.
Damn.
And nobody will go out with me even after I sign for every dating site possible. I'm on them all. The loneliness that comes from being hideous looking has taken its toll. Are there any ugly and desperate women out there who don't care what a guy looks like? Now, I make very good money. I just look like a monster. I'm at a point where I might even try guys. I don't know.
You might try what?
Guys. You know, they have penises.
I feel like that was an ad lib.
Maybe, just maybe, I can get a guy to sleep with me. I didn't include a picture for obvious reasons. I'm hideous. If anybody is lonely, horny, and wants to get some good company over the weekend, I would love to invite you out to my compound. It's a very big place. I mean, have you come over early this weekend? I'm just waiting for a reply. I'm just sitting here. I'm doing nothing. I'm prepared to respond. I'm just kind of getting used to the silence, though.
Oh, baby cakes.
That's heartbreaking, isn't it?
My gosh, but I
Wow.
gotta tell you, here's what's not heartbreaking.
Don't
Your
do it. Don't do it.
performance
Don't do
gets
it.
a standing O.
Sit down. Sit down.
You got
Don't
a
do
standing
it.
O face. Oh yeah, Kevin Ralston.
That's the most disturbing thing of everything we just seen in the last 5 minutes.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people on meth. Ow!
Yeah, I make pipe bombs, but it's just for fun and to blow up stumps.
Of course, South Florida made national news again.
Oh, yeah. Gregory Samuel Hazy in Boynton Beach had 26 bombs
I heard that
at his place.
I heard that story, and I was trying to think: is there any way this guy was just being benign?
Well, that's the excuse that he has. He was basically saying, oh, yeah, no, I just like to, make loud noises and blow up stumps. Yet, his 26 bombs that he had weren't just like a dynamite. There were screws, nails, pellets in the bombs. I don't know why you would need that to remove tree stumps. I guess this is what a trial is for. He gets to present his evidence to defend him, but it sounds a little sketchy.
It sounds suspect.
It sounds very suspect. A neighbor had actually told the police that old Gregory was making bombs and would sometimes detonate them in vacant lots. And of course, he's at a dead end street. That's where the cops found him in Boynton Beach.
I've known a few Gregorys in my time, and I'm not saying that they were building bombs, but they kind of had a bomb building look.
Yeah.
They had that look. Like, yeah,
Gregory.
I might, yeah.
Okay.
I've known a couple, and they look like they might build bombs.
So watch out for Gregory's then?
Yeah, I think I am. I'm loading in on that one.
I'll take your advice. There's a 19-year-old drunk guy in Canada. He was running from the cops on Saturday, and he had to get away. He's like going, oh my gosh, the cops are going to catch me. I'm so hammered. He sees a cab. He hops into it, and he tells the driver, take me to 17th Street, brah. Unfortunately, it wasn't actually a cab. It was an unmarked police car. And they were happy to take him downtown, but not to 17th Street, because that's not where the police station is. They held him till he sobered up and released him without charges, though. That's kind of a nice thing for a 19-year-old, isn't it?
Oh my gosh.
That's Canada. How peaceful is that? So if you want to do some underage drinking, go to Canada.
And according to Dennys, you can just walk right in. No passport needed.
And they hand you a joint on the other side.
I mean, Canada sounds amazing.
Welcome to Canada. Would you like a doobie?
Sure, man. Yes.
There's a guy in Boston that met a woman on a dating app earlier this week, and she invited him to her hotel room. Oh, yeah. Things about to go down.
Ow!
Oh, the only thing that went down was a tasing. She robbed him and used her lovely lady pink taser to do it.
I thought you were going to say something else.
Yeah, no, it didn't go the way you wanted it to. Yeah. Here's the thing that's stupid, though. She stayed in the room afterwards, so the cops found her and arrested her. You need to probably leave the scene of the crime, lady.
And that's why she's in the lockdown news.
That's why she's in, yeah, just because it's dumb. Man, pink lady tasers are kind of cool. There's a guy in Australia who works for a conservative Christian organization who had a stroke a few years ago. What triggered the stroke? Dog was watching porn.
He lost
Got his blood a-flowing at his conservative Christian organization.
That can happen.
Doing something. So it was probably even more devious because he's like, I'm in a conservative Christian organization. I'm watching porn. So, I mean, it just, even more. It's even more taboo than just.
That's always my nightmare. That's how I would die.
And he had a stroke.
Just you are in the thrills of whatever kind of passion you're into, and then you die in it nakedly and grossly looking.
You don't want to do it. That's a terrible way to go.
I don't want to go that way.
Die with clothes on. This guy just got awarded a workers' comp. Apparently, he successfully argued that the stressful environment at the conservative Christian organization that he worked for drove him to watch the porn, and that's why he had the stroke. So it's their fault, not mine.
No, he likes porn.
So apparently, even in Australia, they have bizarre.
They love porn in Australia.
Well, it's down under.
Down under.
Mm-hmm. Homeless man in St. Pete somehow got into Al Lang Stadium and got into a luxury suite and has been living there for nearly 2 weeks. He helped himself to apparently over $1,000 worth of clothing. He consumed $250 in drinks, and he only got caught because a cleaning crew entered the room where he was staying and found razors and shaving cream and blankets and all that kind of stuff.
He got sloppy, and that happens. That's always what happens when people get caught. They get too sloppy. They get too comfortable.
He thought that was going to be his permanent home. He got arrested on burglary charges and is sitting in a county jail right now as we speak.
Hey, he did it for 2 weeks, though.
Yeah. And if you're looking for work, this would be an interesting job. Brian is his name, a Palm Bay, Florida guy, but he has another nickname. People know him better as the Gainer Bull.
Okay.
He's a 44-year-old dude that weighs 500 pounds, and his job title is erotic weight gainer. People will pay him $20 a month to look at his giant gut and watch him eat.
And it's a sexual thing?
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's just like the misconnections. I don't understand it.
Anybody who tries to tell me that the people that are into that ASMR, is that what it's called?
That's where you whisper into the microphones.
And they're trying to tell you that it's not some kind of freaky sexual thing. They're lying to you. And then they're lying to themselves, too.
I'm lying to myself because I like it. It feels relaxing. It tingles something.
I know what it tingles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy eats 10,000 calories a day. He'll typically do like 3 large combo meals and at least 3 sides per meal. And you just sit there and watch him wolf it all down. He's got, his belly is, you ever seen a fat belly that looks tight? Like
Yes.
some of them look droopy, loose, fatty.
Yeah.
His is just, it looks like it's firm. Like if you punched it, you'd hurt your hand.
It's fat art.
I guess. I don't know what you call it.
Not fat art, probably.
Probably not fat art, but yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so that's his profession. You can actually, the Gainer Bowl, oddly enough, I don't know why, I followed him on Instagram today.
Well, because you're into some freak. You're a closet freak.
Well, I did on KVJ. So KVJ looks like the freak, not me.
Oh, I think everybody knows that we are kind of.
So when you guys go in there and you see Gainer Bowl, be like, what sick, twisted person followed this guy?
I think everybody knows we're a little off.
Well, he's got a photo when he's a teenager and he was ripped. He had a 6-pack of abs.
He a teenager? Or
No,
he
was a teenager. He's 44 now.
Guy, yeah. So I've been drinking.
I know, yeah. You got a good excuse now.
I mean, it's 8:59. I'm not gonna lie to you, Coach. These last hours are gonna be real rough for you.
Okay, well, we got somebody in here that's getting a little bit of a buzz. If you got one, but not from alcohol, you can call up for a round of producer Dennys knows when you're high. Yeah. We got any wake and bakers out there? Anybody who's already been hitting the, what is it, Chiba? Is that one of the words?
Oh, Kevin.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Trying to learn my weed vocabulary over here.
Chiba?
Chiba, is that right? Okay. Anybody been hitting it? Even people that have it, we try to tell the difference. Well, actually, Dennys does, and he does an expert job at it. 877-979-WRMF. You can dial us up right now, 877-979-9763 to play next at the KVJ Show.
This is 97.9 WRMF, Palm Beach.
Producer Dennys, he knows when you're high. I think you missed your first one in months. A week or so ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, sometimes the females can be tricky.
Yeah.
I mean, in life in general,
They have
right?
a power over you. In mystical ways, Dennis.
They do. The wiles of them. So yeah, sometimes they can be a little tricky. The guys are a little bit easier for me, but yeah, I got had.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up.
It happens.
You're a good egg.
Let's see what we got here. Is it Nabeed? Is that correct? Is that the right pronunciation, Suits? Okay, we're going to go with Nabeed here from Riviera Beach. Hello, Nabeed.
Hey, good morning, KVJ.
Yeah!
Good morning. Okay, here we go. Is this going to trip you up, Dennys? We're looking for you to be able to identify people that are actually high right now. Some of these people are, some of them are not. You got a couple questions you can throw at them. Let's start here with your questions for Nabeed.
Nabeed, if squirrels slowly started gathering outside your window, how many squirrels would it take before you even notice?
Oh, my gosh.
That's a good question. I would say probably at least like 10, maybe.
No, I think you're wrong.
How many would it be for you?
It's got to be 2.
Oh, you're high strung on squirrels.
Yeah, you really observe squirrels. But I will tell you, they can be noticed. I was walking into my house last night, and there was a squirrel. Same thing was fronting on me.
Yeah.
He stood up.
Yep.
And he was kind of just doing that, like, you want to go? Kind of like, if we were at a bar in a redneck town, we would be out back fighting it out.
If you look at the research, modern day squirrels are way more aggressive than squirrels from the 90s. The facts don't lie.
Yeah. The one from last night was shirtless.
No, yeah, I bet it was a rip too.
Yeah.
These squirrels are doing roids.
They're very jacked these days.
They are.
I think it's because they're used to humans now. We feed them. Squirrels are gigantic now.
They don't sweat humans, and I swear to you, there is a squirrel in my neighborhood that has a prison tat. I'm not kidding you.
I was getting squirreled too, no doubt. All right, next question for Naveed, Dennys.
Speaking of prison, if you were in prison, what would be your escape strategy?
Okay, how do you get out, Naveed?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's see. Because, I would have to become friends with, like, one of the guards or something, and then we'd probably just swap clothes or something and just walk straight up.
That's smart. That happened not too long ago. I think it was a prisoner with a janitor, I think it was. And he walked right out. They caught him in 2 weeks.
But was the janitor and the prisoner in cahoots? What's in it for the janitor?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sex. They were doing sex.
Immediately, that's what you think.
Well, dude, why would a janitor throw away their whole life to help out a prisoner? Because someone was giving up that booty.
It better be good.
Oh, they were giving up the booty.
Because he's going to be sitting next to him, and maybe that's what it is. All right, next question here. Final one for Naveed before Dennys guesses if she's high or not.
If you were left in the woods as a baby and raised by the local animals, which animal do you think would be the best parent?
Great question.
Would you say the woods? I would say probably like a otter or something, because they know how to swim better.
That makes sense.
Does it?
Well, in this game, that makes sense. I like it.
In this game, it makes sense. So we have a different structure for what is sensible and what's not in this game.
Yes.
Jungle Book, was it, he was raised by, was it wolves, gorillas? What was Tarzan? Tarzan was monkeys, right?
Yes, gorillas. I think Jungle Book, he was raised by a bunch of animals.
Okay.
I always get Jungle Book and...
That's all confusing.
Yeah.
But I'd have to take that all into consideration. I think apes would be the best.
What about beavers?
Probably Sasquatch. I don't think beavers. I want somebody with strength and dependable, hands.
Can we get a vote for bison?
No, it'd be a terrible parent. I would not want to be raised by a bison.
A woolly mammoth would be a unbelievable nurturing parent.
Are we talking woolly mammoth or bison?
Not the same. I should probably go home.
I think the mammoths, unfortunately.
Yeah, we got two different things going on, man.
Yeah, I know.
Dennys, Naveed, high or not? What do you think?
I'm not getting too much of a high vibe.
But you are getting trickery from...
I'm getting trickery. I think there was some playing in there to try to... I don't know.
They always like to play with you, Dennys.
Okay.
They do. I'm having a hard time, though. But I'm going with my gut, and I'm going to say I don't think they're high.
Naveed, are you high?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Later, yes. Not
Nice.
now, Dennys. That's a correct answer for you. Very nice. Naveed, thank you for playing along.
I think I love you guys so much.
Oh,
thanks so much.
You're a kind soul.
How about that?
I love it.
All right, let's try another one here. Producer Dennys knows when you're high. We got Mike on here from Port St. Lucie. Hello, Mike.
What's going on?
Oh, brother, Pizzle's my people.
You guys got me on hold forever.
Yeah. Do you want to guess now or do you want questions, Dennys?
Can we just isolate his laugh?
All right. Producer Dennys knows when you're high. What questions do you have here from Mike?
I don't think you need any questions.
I think I got it, but I think this will be a fun question for him. Let's see here, Mike. If you were in the world of Thomas the Toy Engine, what mode of transportation would you be?
Definitely the train, bro.
You could be anything. Thomas is a train.
I love his 17
I want to be the train.
What? I can't miss this. What did you say, Mike?
I said I want to be that train.
Mike wants to be that train.
The train
you know,
brings the
smokestack. You know,
Oh, there you go.
smoke coming out the top. Yeah.
But you want to ride that train?
Oh.
Yeah. Come on, ride my train.
Train.
And ride it.
Toot,
Yeah.
toot.
Yeah. Okay. I'm feeling you. Next question for Mike.
Mike, how many spoons of salt do you think you could eat before you had to tap out?
I want that challenge. I want that challenge
I'm not
immediately.
eating any of it. I already tapped out.
Oh, you're not eating any salt? Do you not add? You don't add salt to anything?
Nah, man.
Okay.
All right.
Now, Mike, he protects his body.
He draws the line.
I gotta watch myself because Denny's asked the question and I get all excited.
You want to answer.
I want to
You want to jump in first.
Yeah, because I want to take that challenge on.
Yeah. Okay. And we got one more here from Mike.
All right, Mike, if somebody gave you a large pet trout, what would you name it?
Oh, man. A large pet trout, huh? I'm going to name him Fishy. Come on, Fishy, Fishy.
Yeah, I love it.
Come on, Fishy.
Hill fishy, fishy.
Okay, Dennys, what do you think about Mike? Is he high or not?
I think we're all on the same page, right?
Yes, he's absolutely high.
I think he is.
Mike, are you high?
Well, damn, you had me on hold for 15 minutes. What do you think I've been doing?
That's a great response.
That is a good response.
We
Solid.
like to keep people on hold.
We want to give you a little toke time there, Mike. Yeah, okay. Explain the laugh. All right, buddy. We'll let you go. Thanks for calling up and playing, okay?
All right, man. Thanks.
Okay.
That was great fun.
Yeah.
He's like, no salt.
Always have a good time with that.
More KVJ Show right now on 97.9 WRMF.
Jason Derulo from Miramar, Florida. This last week, he was talking about that movie Cats because was it the guy that originally came out with Cats? The musical was talking and admitted, yeah, the movie was terrible.
What's his Roy Harbor Scott?
Andrew Lloyd Webber?
Yeah,
that's what it was.
He was saying, yeah, that movie was atrocious. And, you know, Jason Derulo was in it, and he was like, honestly, I read it over. He's like, I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was going to be good. But it now is pretty much noted as one of the worst movies to be made in recent history.
But is it one of those ones where you watch it and you love to watch it because it's so bad and you get enjoyment from the awfulness?
Yeah, these movies like that, they almost get that cult classic status. And, you know, maybe it's a stoner, it's a movie where you get, you know, a strong buzz and then you watch it and it trips you out watching it. Well, there are a lot of movies that are like that, are not, you know, mainstream. I know when I was in college, they made us watch this movie, A Clockwork Orange.
Oh, yeah.
And it's real trippy, and you know but it's a movie that I wouldn't want to just sit down and watch for fun.
I watched that movie, and that's a weird movie. That
It
actually
is.
made me feel weird in the stomach.
It did,
I think it's
yeah.
made to.
Yeah.
It is. And so you've got some of those kind of movies that it's weird because they're really not good. They're bad movies, but they're so bad that they're good.
So
if
my
that makes sense.
my favorite are the kind that they are trying so hard to be good, and they just can't get it. Like The Room.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was that guy's name? Anybody remember?
Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah.
Tommy, if you've not seen The Room and you love this kind of cheesy, terrible,
You have
bad
to.
everything, you have. He does a 6-minute lovemaking scene, and it is so long and just over the top.
The disappointing part is the first one. You're like, all right, that was long. There's 2 more.
Yeah, there's 3 lovemaking scenes, but it's softcore lovemaking.
Like,
Saxophone playing, the sheets flying.
It just keeps going and going.
You see a nipple, you see some crack, but
Like you're thinking maybe you might want to make an edit here, Tommy.
Oh, it's 18 minutes between the 3 of them.
But he was trying to do a serious thing, and
Yes.
it came out terrible. Those are the ones I really, really love.
And then they made a mock movie about it.
They made a
With Seth Rogen.
biopic,
Yes,
biopic. Yeah.
The Disaster Artist.
Right.
which is
okay.
really good.
Which is based off the book about working with Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, okay.
But then there's movies where, like Killer Clowns from Outer Space, were they deliberately trying to make a bad movie?
It's almost a genre where, yeah, you're kind of making it bad for that kind of reason. When I was a kid, probably a teenager, there was a movie called The Toxic Avenger.
Oh, yes.
And they would call them B movies.
Yes.
And they were. And they you know, I think they realized we can't make a good movie, So let's make a good bad movie.
Well, it's not even that they can't make a good movie. I don't know if they have enough money to even try to make a good movie.
Right, the budget's not there to make what would be necessarily a great movie. So, all right, let's go ahead and almost intentionally make it bad.
The original Halloween with Michael Myers, Jamie Lee Curtis, that whole thing, if you look into the research on that, that wasn't supposed to be a hit. That was such a low-budget movie with not big of a budget. They had to take leaves and then sweep them and then put them back over on the same set because they didn't have, the actors were doing that.
Oh,
they didn't have
wow.
enough money for the production, and that thing became a huge hit.
Yeah.
So sometimes B movies can get, they can strike oil.
Blair Witch Project. Like when that one? Yeah.
The people that made the Toxic Avenger, the company, I thought it was it's Trauma. They got famous for being the company that makes bad movies. That was their claim to fame.
Yeah.
So they actually made sales because of that fact.
Right, and you know what you're going to get. And there was people that loved the fascination of just watching terrible movies because you couldn't believe how bad it was. Sharknado is a franchise that is built off that, and they pull no punches and make no apologies for how terrible their movies are.
They're trying to make a bad, and they know they're making a bad movie. The actors know, the director, the writers know.
But it's kind of, it'd be freeing to be like, okay, we want the acting to be bad, the writing to be bad, the effects to be terrible. You're like going, I got this.
Well, have you ever seen Tara Reid do a junket about Sharknado?
No.
I mean, right off the bat, it's the worst movie ever. I can't believe I'm part of this franchise. Like she likes to be vocal about how terrible.
I need a paycheck though.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm only doing this because my legitimate acting career didn't take off. Yeah, so what would you say? What is your favorite so bad it's good movie? Got Cats, you got The Room, you got your Sharknado. What else belongs on the list? Tom said Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Yeah. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Is that Phil?
It's another one from the same.
That's the one I love, and it's so funny because the little piece of popcorn. That's where the clowns come from. They're from outer space, and when you see the popcorn, that's them growing into being a clown. I mean, how high do you have to be?
Oh, yeah. How high do you have to be? Jaybird, you said you have a whole list of just movies that are so bad that they're good and you love them.
So many of them. I'll run them down. Face Off with John Travolta and Nicolas Cage. Anybody that tries to call in right now, I dare you to say that's a good, legit movie. It's good because it's so terrible.
Hasn't Nicolas Cage recently made some pretty terrible movies because he's trying to make back money from all the cash he blew?
Dinosaur Bones.
He's buying dinosaur bones, and I get it. I'd probably buy dinosaur bones if I was a multi-millionaire because they're cool.
I haven't seen them. I can't remember what the names of them are, but I thought he had made a whole bunch of bad movies recently.
There's a part where John Travolta is now Nicolas Cage, and Nicolas Cage is the bad guy in the beginning, but now John Travolta is Nicolas Cage's bad character. And what's that one line I hate?
They flip faces.
They flip faces like, and he goes, it's such a cringy line. I can't think of it.
Castor Troy is his name.
Castor Troy.
I'm trying to remember the line. He has some pretty vulgar lines in that too.
I'm looking like you, or something like that. It's so cringy.
You nailed it.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of Nicolas Cage's recent roles here on Rotten Tomatoes. He did Grand Isle in 2019, which has a 0%.
Oh my God.
On Rotten Tomatoes. He did Running with the Devil in 2019 that has 24% on Rotten Tomatoes. In 2018, he did 211, which has 4% on Rotten Tomatoes. In 2017, he did Arsenal, which has 3% on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, it's just brutal. 2015, he did Outcast, which has 5%. I mean, wow.
That's rough.
That's brutal.
All you lippy people on Twitter now, Face Off is a good movie. Get your ass on the phone. Call right now. I want you to explain yourself why you think Face Off is so good.
They haven't seen it in 10 years. That's why.
You won't call. You won't do it. You're yellow.
Okay.
It's people saw it. So when I thought back initially, I was like, oh, that movie wasn't bad. And then I watched it and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't defend this.
It is a crap movie, and I want to hear you defend it. You won't do it.
Okay, anything else you need to name drop here, Bird? Terrible movies.
Oh, man. Do you want to go to 11 today?
No, not at all. I want to go home.
Anything by Ed Wood, the director Ed Wood, is rough.
I've got Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze.
Oh, jeez.
It is a terrible movie, and it is so awesome.
It's like the Tao of being a bouncer.
It's the Tao of being.
It's like how?
Make no mistake about it. Roadhouse is not good, but it's so good. Sex in the City Part 2.
Oh.
It is so cringy and so terrible, and I can't believe how terrible each scene gets. I gotta watch it, Kevin.
Okay.
Sleepaway Camp.
Yes.
Horror movie from the 80s.
They
Terrible.
would do a
One
lot
and
of
two.
really cringy horror movies. That seems to be one genre.
Cobra with Sylvester Stallone.
Yes.
Maybe the biggest piece of crap Stallone made, and it might be my favorite movie. I know, Rocky, I get it.
Yeah. Predator
bad.
2. Predator 2's awful.
Terrible, Dennys.
Predator 1's awesome.
Anything else that you would like to add?
I thought I'd edit myself. I had 30 more.
Okay. Bernard is on here from Fort Lauderdale. Just has something to say about Face Off. What did you want to say here, Bernard?
Let's hear it.
Jason, I don't know what you're talking about, but Face Off is one of Nicolas Cage's best movie ever.
The dialogue is so cheesy. It's terrible. John Travolta trying to be evil is the most cringiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Brother, you are so wrong.
I'm not worried about the dialogue, the action, all of that. That's the first Nicolas Cage movie I watched with my dad, and I've seen that movie like 10 times.
You're talking about nostalgia. It means
it's
great
too
to you
close
because
to
of your
it.
dad. If you have to lead with it has great action scenes, it is just an action movie.
Okay. That's your argument. Well,
It's not about the dialogue. Dialogue's big. But I do love your fight. I love that you called in.
I saw that movie when it first came out, and for whatever reason, I probably had low standards, but I think I remember liking it.
That's what happens, and then you watch it back, and you're like,
Yeah.
wow.
No, it is.
It's terrible.
It's a popcorn blockbuster movie, and it is good, but it's not good.
It's not.
It's not good. It's good, but it's not good.
You ever see Halle Berry's Catwoman? That movie was awful.
Oh, was it that bad?
Terrible.
That's the one where she got in shape and she was on some
remember
diet
that.
and she was farting on set, and you had that story.
Oh,
See, that's an
yeah.
entertainment story that stuck out.
She was just coming off of a big movie, too. Wasn't she one of like Monster Ball or something like that? And then she
Monsters
did that.
Ball and Swordfish, I think, also with John Travolta.
She was real on top of her game when that movie came out.
Yeah, that movie was atrocious.
Somebody texted and said, my wife and I rewatch 90s horror movies just because they're terrible, like Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, etc. They're terrible.
Those are 80s movies, though, not 90s.
Yeah, they are 80s. And I think that if you go down deeper into the sequels, they get terrible. But the originals of both of those franchises were both pretty critically acclaimed.
And you're 110% right. The sequels would have bled into the 90s. Because I remember you talking about, I think it was Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3.
When they got Jason in space, it was like, what are we doing?
Jason in Manhattan's awful.
Well, you knew about the Freddy Krueger Part 3 because you had liked a heavy metal band that did
It was Dawkins. Dream Warriors was the song they did.
Dream Warrior. That is a crappy movie, man.
It's not good. It's not good.
It's more of the KVJ Show right now on 97.9 WRMF.
Who makes the greatest burger of all time? Nothing better than a good old juicy cheeseburger. Especially if you do a little bit of a cheat day. You can throw all kinds of good stuff on it. Cheese, you were talking yesterday, Jay Bird, about that burger you used to love where they just pour all kinds of goop all over it. Not only cheese sauce, but I love when they put like a bacon on there and mushrooms. And
This is going to be a old reference for Palm Beach County. Do you guys remember a place called the Log Cabin? It was in Jupiter, and it had the best cheddar burger. I would say circa early 90s, the Log Cabin in Jupiter. Do you guys remember that?
All right.
Probably the best burger I've ever had in my life.
Sounds like you get a good burger there.
Yeah, and they went out of business. I think it's the same place where they had that piano bar in Jupiter back in the day, which I think went out of business as well.
Oh, and that plaza.
Yeah.
It was there. It's off US 1 where they had 88 Keys.
88 Keys, and it's right by that golf course.
Yeah.
Full circle, that Jupiter golf course we were talking about earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
The best burger
taking
ever.
me back.
The Log Cabin cheddar burger. Oh.
That's good.
Does anybody remember this?
Okay.
Am I just a man alone?
You are. You are a man alone.
I am a man alone.
You're a man alone. But maybe people will still remember. We did the poll yesterday. We came up with 4 options. What are the best 4 options? McDonald's on there with their Big Mac. They got the quarter pounder with cheese, all kinds of stuff that you got to put them on there. Some classic burgers. The Whopper at Burger King, that has to make the list.
I had a McDonald's question that maybe the McDonald's people can tell me. Why are the onions different on the cheeseburger than the quarter pounder? I hate the quarter pounder onions, and I love.
They seem more raw and bigger, right?
Raw, bigger, not sweet, gross. The chopped up, diced onions for McDonald's are the best in the market.
That is interesting. Yeah, they do seem to be different.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm drunk, so I'm letting it all out.
Well, you're being honest.
Honest opinions.
Calling people out on their onions.
Honest opinions galore.
Wendy's made the list just because they seem to have, they really tout how good the meat is, the quality of it. They're thick. They are very juicy.
Make no mistake.
Good buns.
They have good fries, and they have a great Frosty.
Yeah, you put them together. You dip the fries in the Frosty.
Their baked potatoes good. You're going to have to wait a little bit.
Okay.
Baked potatoes good.
And then Culver's, kind of new to the game. They're growing, but everybody was all over this, especially the butter burgers. They were saying, you got to go for that. And I know they got a Culver's coming to Margate, so they're starting to expand a little bit more. So maybe if they had a little bit more exposure, they might have done a little bit better because they came in 4th place, but it was still honorable. They got 19% of the vote against the big dogs.
They are in my hometown of Lake Park, and that's where I went yesterday. Lake Park's kind
Culver's,
of
okay.
Lake Park, a growing metropolis area.
Try it again. Another beer.
Lake Park.
Yeah.
A metropolis area.
A what? Ready and take 3. Click.
Metropolis.
All right.
What's that word? Say
cut.
it. How do you say that word?
Okay. Take 4.
No, I'm not doing it
Lake
again.
Worth.
Lake Park.
Oh, Lake Park.
Metropolis.
Metropolitan?
No.
That's not it.
That's not the word I'm looking at.
Metrotropolis?
Let's
Dennys, do we know what word he's searching for? Because it's not metropolitan.
It's not.
Is it metro? He's looking at Metrotropolis. He doesn't want to let off of this one, and I don't know that I'm familiar with that.
Let's move on. I hate when you highlight.
You know what he's going for here?
I think it's Metropolis, right?
Maybe. Yeah,
Metropolis.
It's Metropolis. Yeah.
Metropolis.
That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, Metropolis.
Denny
All right.
speaks bird, especially drunk bird.
Say it again then. Lake Park.
You are making me sing for myself for Ralston. Say it.
Metropolis.
All right.
Yeah.
The word is?
Yeah, Lake Park what?
Lake Park Metropolis.
There you go. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
What a fun show.
Hey, get this talking thing down. Come on, man. It's going great. Yeah, so Culver's held up the rear. 4th place, 19% of the vote. Between our number 2 and number 3, it was super tight. In fact, you really couldn't even tell a difference between Wendy's and
Burger King,
McDonald's.
Wow.
You call that an upset?
I would say that, and I got much love for McDonald's.
Yeah.
And I'm also drunk. Should I not give my own? Should I not be honest?
Well, what are you saying?
I don't know.
You don't know what you're saying?
No, I do know what I'm saying. I just feel like it's one of those moments, Bird. You might want to shut
You feel like McDonald's is not to the same heights that they once were?
I think that McDonald's has hit a bit of a rough patch.
They have an identity crisis.
They have an identity crisis, and I don't get it twisted. I have got so much love for McDonald's. I love McDonald's.
I know you love all these,
but I do feel like McDonald's has lost their identity on a lot of areas.
They need to pull you into the boardroom because you're right. I think they need a few quick answers to regain that dominance.
So what happens with them is what happens with they cower to the minority on social media that is screaming and saying
they're trying to make the really obnoxious small group of people happy, and they can't, and they're losing their base.
Yes,
because they're chasing the people you'd never be able to make happy anyway.
Dude, I'm not going to McDonald's to get thin. I'm going to McDonald's to forget about not being thin.
That should be their new slogan. Dude, I'm not going to McDonald's to get thin. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. That's why they need you in the boardroom.
Ronald, I can help you out, dude.
He's right here.
This is I'll retire from radio if McDonald's hires me as a consultant.
You wouldn't lose these meaningless polls in the future.
Again, McDonald's, I got much love for you.
Burger King, number 1, 29%. But I would just go to show you how close it is. You had Burger King, number 1, 29%. Wendy's, number 2 at 27%. McDonald's, 3 at 25%. And then Culver's at 19%.
Wow. I got to tell you, KVJ audience, you've shocked me again.
Shocked again.
And I love to be shocked.
I know you do, you twisted little monkey. Yeah. Burger King, too, is doing something interesting in Belgium. They've created face masks with food orders printed on them. So you go to one of their social media sites, so they get your traffic there, and then they'll send it to you, apparently free of charge, and it says what it is you want. Like, you could get a face mask that just says the Whopper with fries, and you put that on your face, and you just walk right in, and you don't have to say anything to them, and they're like, here's your Whopper with fries.
Yeah.
All the different kind of like order combos you can get. So you can basically just custom your order and then you just wear your order on your face.
I noticed BK likes to play games, and I like games that are not mind games. I like mind games. I like mind games.
Fun games.
I like playful games.
Playful
Kevin.
games.
Yeah, and Burger King.
It's a playful game.
You bring out the playful side of the bird.
And that's why they're winning a meaningless radio poll.
That means nothing.
Yes.
It's not even accurate.
So there you go. That is the finale there. BK, number 1. Oh, yeah, little party on a Friday. We got more coming up, too. The After the Show podcast going to be live on Facebook. You can also watch it on YouTube and the podcast app. Virginia taking a little bit of a personal day today. She'll be back with us on Monday. So, Jaybird, if you could, why don't you give a nice positive shout out?
Oh, it's 10?
Yeah, it's time to leave. It's time for your thought.
Kevin, stretch. I got this. Hold on.
I'm stretching.
I got this.
Tight.
I know. Okay. Yeah. It is better to change an opinion than to persist in a wrong one. Oh.
Oh. Hoping you'll buy this because I just looked it up. Oh.
The KVJ Show. Mornings and the best variety of the 2000s, 10s, and